Good morning. It's Thursday, October 30th, National Checklist Day. All right, got that done. And now, the news. Starting back with Hurricane Melissa, which is now moving across the Bahamas as a Category 1 storm. More than 20 people have died in Haiti after a river flooded and burst its banks. In Cuba, where the storm made landfall on Wednesday morning, more than 140,000 people are without power. I should point out that, in moments like this, it used to be that we would jump in to help. The world could count on help from USAID, with a staff of about 800 people who would have been prepared for something like this and would have been preparing to provide relief for something like this for months. The State Department is working on how they can jump in and help, but it could be easier. That's all I'm saying. It could be easier. And moving on to our government shutdown can now, ironically, legally run for the U.S. Senate. Welcome, everybody, to day 30. No one's happy. None of them. A few senators, including Alaska's Lisa Murkowski, have said that there have been more bipartisan conversations happening, pointing to some optimism that perhaps there is a light at the end of the tunnel. But also, it could be a train, because not every senator is feeling the optimism. A Democratic bill to fund SNAP and WIC through November was not able to make it to the floor after Senate Majority Leader John Thune admonished Democrats, saying that they refused to vote to take away health care for 20 million people and therefore get the government reopened, and as a punishment for that, they would not allow this bill to go to the floor for a vote. Amazingly, in his genuinely passionate speech about why this bill cannot even make it to the floor for a vote, Thune said, quote, "This isn't a political game. These are real people's lives that we are talking about," end quote. Yeah, man, that's what Democrats are trying to tell you. Read your own speech. I guess that's why they're standing so firm. Real people, not a game. Do you understand the words that your speechwriter wrote for you? Reopen the schools. Meanwhile, the House remains closed, and Speaker Johnson would like you to please stop talking about it, okay? It is totally normal to close the entire House of Representatives for business in order to protect the most notorious child sex trafficker, as well as everyone he worked with, including his best friend, the United States President. Why is everyone still talking about it? Someone asked that's such a good impression of Speaker Johnson. People should hire me for impressions. Someone asked Speaker Johnson about the House being closed, and he had a very bizarre answer. It was this, quote, "People keep coming to me, you look tired on TV. I am tired because we are not sleeping a lot. We're working overtime," end quote. Is the overtime in the room with us right now? Overtime on what, honey? The House is closed. What are you working overtime on? A puzzle? He's so lame. And in Illinois, Sean Grayson, the white former police officer who, in 2024, shot and killed Sonya Massey, an unarmed black woman who called 911 to report a prowler in her home, has been found guilty of second-degree murder. Killed for calling the police. Killed for calling the police while black. Grayson faces 20 years in prison. He was with Massey for 20 minutes. He interacted with her for 20 minutes. That is something that really sticks out to me. 20 minutes. He spoke with her. He knew she was not a threat. There was a threat in that home. It was Grayson. Sean Grayson was the threat in that home. But after interacting with her for 20 full minutes, at that 20-minute mark, he asked her to take boiling water off the burner. She was listening to him. and went to take the pot of water to the sink. But as she was doing that, when he was moving into the living room to get away from the hot water, she said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." And it was at that point that Grayson drew his gun and threatened to shoot her. Massey apologized. She ducked and apologized. She called the police because she thought someone was in her home and she wanted help. She was following Grayson's directions to remove the water from the burner. When he threatened to shoot her, she ducked and apologized. And after he fired his gun at her 3 times, including striking her once in her head, the other deputy attempted first aid and Grayson stopped him and never attempted to help her himself. Just 16 hours before this, the day before this, Massey's mom called the police and told them that her daughter was struggling with mental health. She told them that she was having a mental breakdown and she asked them not to hurt her when they responded to her. Within 16 hours, 2 people within this family called the police and asked for help. And within 16 hours, Sonya Massey was murdered. And I'm no lawyer, but I do know that second-degree murder is for reckless or negligent behavior. Someone shooting after the person apologizes and ducks. Someone stopping someone else from even attempting first aid. First-degree murder for life. She called for help. Sonya Massey was 36 years old. And finally, as he continues his vacation around Asia, Trump took to his Temu Twitter on Wednesday to announce that, for the first time since 1992, the United States will begin testing nuclear weapons. Quote, "Because of other countries' testing programs, I have instructed the Department of War to start testing our nuclear weapons on an equal basis. That process will begin immediately." End quote. Oh, so we're not doing it because there is no such thing as the Department of War. It's just a nickname that you gave the department while you also run around talking about how you want the Nobel Peace Prize without understanding the irony, because from the ankles to the brain ain't none of it working. I don't think we should do this. We should not do this. This is a step in the wrong direction. Hear me out, we should do fewer nuclear bombs, not more. What a mind I have. This is such a wildly bad idea. What are you a villain in a Bond movie? I realize that you're the villain in this story, but are you also a villain in a 1990s Bond movie? Oof. Did you recently watch Blast from the Past? Side note, Blast from the Past. Have you seen that recently? I've only seen like 7 movies in my life. That's one of them. It's very cute. While we're talking about Trump, as I mentioned, he is currently on his trip around Asia. On Wednesday, he visited South Korea, where he was literally presented with a crown, and the military band played YMCA to greet him. They weren't like, "We know this one." They were like, "Welcome, here is your song." There was also a luncheon that included Thousand Island salad dressing, literally as a nod to Trump's success in New York, and mini beef patties with ketchup. We used to be a country. Prior to this, a few weeks ago, Trump went to Walter Reed for a totally normal twice in 1 year yearly physical. Common? It's not common. I'm being sarcastic. That's not common. We found out this week that his totally normal twice in 1 year yearly physical, which his doctor said, A+, gold star, you did great. I don't even know why we bring you in here. I really don't know why they bring him in here, because he's gonna lie anyway. We found out this week that he got an MRI as part of his physical. He also said he got an IQ test. They don't give those at doctor's offices. What they do provide, however, are cognitive tests. So he likely got that. They don't give those just willy-nilly. There is usually a reason why, and we can guess why, but we sure deserve a reason. If the President of the United States has been given a cognitive test, we should sure get a reason. As I mentioned, the doctor's note from the physical says he is in perfect health. You've never seen a healthier human in your entire life. So that's a lie. I'm not even trying to be mean. I'm saying that he's already said he has medical conditions. And this one was like, he's perfect and handsome. He also got a COVID booster while he was there and thinking of ways that he can make sure that no one else can get vaccines. It's the hypocrisy for me. And that's it. That's the news. I'm proud of checklists. When you do something and then you go back to write it down just to be able to check it off, honestly, it does help sometimes. It does sometimes make things better. What I like to do, I like to draw the little boxes for my list, and then I make X's in the boxes. I've got a whole system. I'm not even kidding. Obviously, I have a system for every single thing I do, and part of it is that I draw little boxes and then I do little X's. It works for me. There's more to it than that. I'm not going to bore you, but more than X's, because I'm never going to give you up. I'm proud of you.